Good morning, hello, and good afternoon if it's afternoon for you. I have not done a 3-card pick-a-card reading in a while, but I was really drawn to it this morning. So that's why I'm saying morning, is because it's very early for me. The sun hasn't even gotten up. And whenever you're seeing it is the right time for you. The intention for this reading was all around getting clarity in a time of change, because there's a lot of really great, exciting things going on in the world, but there's also a lot of very confusing, a little bit scary things. And as most of you know, I work in energy therapies, helping to do just that, like balance and become clear about what's your energy, what's not your energy, releasing old outdated stories and programs. And the more you let go, the more clear things get. Not to say that everything is always easy, because it certainly isn't, but things become clearer and you become less involved in small details and more aware of the bigger picture, so to speak. So today I've decided to work with the trees, and before I came on camera, I set the intention and I shuffled, and 3 cards fell right out. So these are the cards, and then I went to this fun deck that I picked up to give us some information about stones that we could bring in as well. Because I think, when you're looking for clarity and you're trying to figure out what's going on in the world, sometimes you can pick up a stone and put it in your pocket to remind you of a certain mantra or something that you feel protects you or brings you clarity or whatever it is. So that's where we're going in this day. And so I began the first reading with so this is reading number 1, and it's giant redwood. And the reason why I'm grabbing trees is because I've been communicating with trees in and around my home. So I felt very drawn, and that they would have a beautiful message. And along with that is agate, a stone of stability and grounding. So this is for reading number 1. And for reading number 2, we have eastern cottonwood. It's very interesting how completely different it is from the first one. Much gentler image. And then aquamarine encourages being true to the self. And for the third reading, we have linden. A lot going on in this image. And then we actually have 2, but I only looked at the first one, so we'll reveal the second one. But the first one is jade, a symbol of purity and serenity. And I can already tell that it kind of looks like I, went looking for the perfect rock to go with this, but I can guarantee you I did not. So we are going to ask, what is a message for us in this time of change, and what do we most need to know? So take a look at each one of the piles, whatever you're drawn to, whether it's the tree or the crystal, and we'll be right back with the message for you. Reading 1, this pile or this message is for you. So let's dive right in and find out what you need to know in this time of change. First of all, this card of the giant redwood, if you've never been out to California to see these, this is quite the experience, because the energy is palpable, and the tree in this deck is known for its majestic value, and that is definitely what you feel like when you go out to the redwood. So yeah, so the card itself asks you to understand your own greatness, so not to underestimate your value. And I'll read what it says here. It says, don't underestimate yourself, either in terms of your natural abilities or really your unique personality, because you're the only combination of you. There's no one else. even in the, billions of people on the planet, you are the only specific combination of you. So you have so much to offer the world that there's no need to feel inadequate or to lack self-confidence. So it's asking you to kind of bring in the reverence and the majesty of the tree when you're starting to doubt yourself, or you're feeling like you're losing your confidence. And with that, the agate, and it says then agates come in so many different varieties. So it's an easy stone for you, and an affordable stone for you to find if you're drawn to this one as well. A great stone for stability and grounding. These grounding attributes can help relieve stress, anxiety, and tension. I feel that in a lot of stones. You can find that in many, many stones, but this one is bringing the message also that it helps kind of to vibrate at a lower frequency. It encourages us to slow down, to bring our life back to balance. Now, we hear a lot about raising our frequency, but we don't hear a lot about lowering our frequency. If you find that you're in a lower frequency, obviously you want to raise your frequency, and stones will do either or, right? If you intend to help it, although help your frequency raise, it can do that. Although there are certain crystals that naturally are more energizing, and certain crystals that are more grounding. And when I'm doing work, a lot of times I will gravitate towards a grounding crystal, because what I want people to do, and I think what this message is it really wants you to feel into your body. Be aware of how you're feeling. Be aware, because this tree is really massive, very, very big, deep roots into the earth, and the awareness of what's going on. So I think that's the overall message. If you have found yourself binge watching a lot of, news sources, or whatever source that you get it from, mine's YouTube, we all have something. And if you get all up in your head about it, these are really grounding you, asking you to really deeply root in your body, in your world, and not go too crazy with what might be, right? Because we can do that. We can get in our head, and our head tells lots of beautiful stories, a lot of times none of which are true. Okay, so this is Kali, and I really, really wanted Kali, who she brings this unique offering of guidance, protection, and healing, right, that comes in. So she navigates darkness with wisdom, and that's why a lot of the images on the card are very dark. So this one is not, right? This one is this beautiful orb, and I see wholeness and balance, with this Om signal sign, and I'm not sure what this one is down here. Well, let's see what Guna Tantrika said. It takes strength. Interesting that we have this beautiful card of majesty. It's all the cards are working together to bring this message to you. It takes strength of spirit not to override inner knowing with social pressures or an inhuman expectation of constant performance. Trust in the shifting cycles to give yourself what you need for well-being. No being benefits when you're at odds with yourself, and you have the inner power and capacity to be at peace with you and yourself right now. So I really like this message coming through. All of this is asking you to kind of ground in and get out of maybe thoughts and feelings of inadequacy, things that you're less than, or things that you have to perform, right? Constant performance. You don't need this needing or feeling that we are being judged by the outside world, and that if we don't do this or that we are somehow lack or less than something or someone else, is false. It's only true if you allow it to be true. So the other card I felt strongly to bring in were animal spirits. Again, bringing in nature, and for reading number 1, please, clarity during this time of great change. What is the message here, please? Okay, oh, look at this. Freedom is yours. Card 33. I love when double numbers come out. This is a white horse, and it feels very gentle. When lots of images of horses are very strong and powerful, like the tree, right? Very strong and powerful. But there is a rootedness, and this is freedom. This is all about freedom and the awareness. So it's interesting that this is coming right after this override inner knowing. It takes strength of spirit not to override inner knowing with social pressures or inhumane expectations for constant performance. This is asking you to free yourself from the loop of, sometimes your own torture, really, of constantly needing to be better than or perform in a way that, makes you feel better about yourself. And it's asking you to, to go deeper. Why is it that you would feel that you need to be in constant performance, right? Why is it that you would need, there's nobody, sometimes it's just we were raised that way, right? We were raised in a family that had great expectations for us. And then we have a tendency to continue that in our adult life, and we don't even realize that we're doing it. So the card here is, when horse spirit appears, you are gifted with the spirit of movement and freedom. It's time for travel, adventure, maybe a trip. Spirit is here to remind you that no matter the circumstances, you're free. And you can make choices that affect some sort of outcome that you desire. So that was one of the things that the question was really about. It's like, what is it during this time of change? What is the advice? And if you think about freedom is really that. So it's asking you to stay grounded into the earth so you don't feel thrown off balance, to get kind of out of your head if you've given yourself unreasonable expectations or put on a lot of pressure. Free yourself from that. Ground yourself into the moment. There's only this moment. So ground yourself into that and move from there. It reminds you to help. It reminds you that help will be available, and companions will be by your side. That's interesting because it was just a little blurb, like at the end of a paragraph that I reached out and grabbed. So the message is also to say, horses run generally in a group. Oh, I needed to take a sip of my tea. It's very early this morning. So I haven't even opened up my tarot cards. Usually I have all the cards out and ready to go. But here I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot for this particular reading. And let's ask for more clarification and guidance about what we most need to know for reading number 1. So more detailed information, please. And I think this is already a really beautiful reading. And I hope it's resonating with you. If it is, then, leave me a comment and let me know how it's hitting you. So 2 cards here in the beginning. 1, the 6 of Cups. And a lot of people read this as a nostalgic card. And the last thought that I had in my head as I'm giving this information for you today was that there are childhood things that could be running in the background. And this kind of is also, saying, yeah, that could be a very big part of your feeling a little bit afraid right now or uncertain, and you've always been somebody that, put a lot of pressure on yourself to perform and to show how amazing you are. But you're amazing anyway. You don't have to prove anything to anybody else, but it feels like it could have been a pattern from your past that is playing out. And that's something that you're going to see. It could be part of the revelation of what's going on right now for you. Is that something either from the past is going to come back to show you that it's time to let go, or maybe somebody from your past is going to come back in and it's going to kind of put things in perspective for you. And we also have the Star. And this is asking you to really get clear about the things that you want, right? As we move forward and things, if you're doing the work, and, some people, so there's a lot of buzz around doing the work. Have you done the work? Have you done the work? We're all doing the work all the time. But the question is what kind of work have you been doing? Have you been in your head around ego and working to let everybody and the world know how amazing you are? Or are you working to let go of things that aren't serving you? If you love your life and loved all the hard work, then that's your nature. But if you did it for rewards and accolades from others, it's okay to work for rewards and accolades. But if you're doing it so other people see how great you are, then sometimes you end up, no matter how hard you work, you still don't feel or receive the thing you want, because it's within you. It's like you just need to know that you're amazing. And if you know you're amazing, then everyone else does. So as you move forward, what is it? What are your dreams? What are your wishes? It's a time as you ground into this moment. It's asking you to get clear on what you want. It's asking you to listen to, and I'm going to grab, I think, these tea leaf cards here for another message to see what we can bring in. We have these beautiful tea leaf. I really was excited to get these. I had seen so many readers read with them, and I just thought they're the coolest cards ever. So let's find out, like, what do we need to get clear on here? What do we need to, you know, these are, I used to do this with my mom, and I really miss that since she's passed, as we would sit and read real leaves, like in tea, and see what, you know, what we got for the day. So, okay, so the first thing that came out is tortoise, slowly but surely. So yeah, sometimes when we've been going in a direction, we feel like, you know, is it ever going to be there? Is it ever going to happen? And tortoise really doesn't, he just keeps moving. He keeps going in the direction of the desire, and he doesn't worry about how long it takes there. So there's something about that. If you're a person who is really, you know, a mover, right? Somebody that likes to do things really fast, get things done, you're in, that's kind of what this is leaning towards, is that getting the freedom from needing to move that quickly. And when you've been, I was that person, so I completely get it. And it took me to see someone else slow down before I realized how crazy and insane my world was. And so this is just a reminder to take a peek, and it's okay to slow down. So let's see. Okay, there's another card here. Leg. Stepping into a new experience. Yeah, this is very interesting, because one of the things that I'm noticing about this leg, about stepping into a new experience, is you know, I'm not getting a negative thing from this card, although I don't love the image here. It's like it feels very barren, right? But I think the point of what they were trying to make here is that you're kind of stepping outside of where you've been, the box that has held you. And like in the Fool card, you've let go of everything, so you're naked to the world. And these that look like, you know, real pointy things, I think they're just possibilities. I think it's new grass coming up, that everything is new and you have no idea until you step out there and you bring some attention, because you have control over what's happening, where you're going. Final cards, please, for reading number 1. We're going to go back to the light seers. Okay, so the Ten of Swords is, yeah, letting go of this old way of thinking. And I feel like you're doing that. And if you're not, then that's exactly what's happening. Letting go of the need to constantly perform. Ground into the awareness of how amazing you are, how majestic you are. Let go of these pressures that you've put on yourself, because you have the power and capacity to be at peace. And, you know that, you know, be easy on yourself. That either something, an awareness from the past that kind of lets you see things a little bit more clearly will come, and it's helping you with this card underneath the 6 here. It's going to help you see clearly the new direction that you're going in. And she's not running in that new direction. She's allowing the sun to come up. She's turned her back to things that no longer fit. And let's see about these dreams and wishes and the star. What message final message here for reading number 1, please. The cards feel, yeah, look at that. All right, 9 of Cups. This is about putting your heart into whatever it is. So I think that you may be one of these people that thinks a lot and overanalyzes possibly about what's going on and really pays attention to, oops, I just dropped a book. Sorry about that. And I always think that things come in for a reason. So the book fell because it's like, let go of everything that you know. Let go of the need to know more and more and more and more, and lean into what your heart says. This is about, you know, letting go of expectations and allowing your heart to pull you forward. This is a beautiful card of abundance, of this golden opportunity that's here. And having this right under the star is really, really amazing. It's really amazing. So I'm going to pull one of these cards on the months. Okay, it's this one, January. So look out for the month of January. This is a very interesting card because it's just very cold, right? But you know, I feel like things are going to really lighten up and you're going to see things a little bit clearer in January. And this new experience, because it's all these are right under, slowly move out of where you are, be gentle with yourself, head into these dreams, get clear on what this is. You can have the things that you want. You're going to have new experiences that are going to take you forward. And in January, I think things are going to get clearer for you. So thank you so much for being here at the Art of the Oracle pile and reading number 1. I hope you enjoyed this message. Please leave a comment and let me know what you thought of the reading and how it resonated with you. And if you're interested in getting clear answers to some very personal questions that you have, I do readings through Zoom. So just reach out to the link that's in the description box to see either my website or reach out just privately, and I will set up a time for you and I to do a reading. I'd love to work with you. So until then, have a beautiful day, and catch us in the daily readings if you are new to the channel. We do those Monday through Friday. So thank you for being here. Bye now. Hello, reading 2 or pile 2. Welcome to this message, very personal message. And the intention around the reading is like, what is the message for us, right, in this changing times? And it's going to be very unique. Even the message, even though you've chose this message is going to be very unique to each person that chooses it, right? Because you're very, very unique. You are the only one like you with this unique set of experiences. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to help bring clarity and awareness. So you've chosen this reading around the Eastern Cottonwood. And in the guidebook, this is under wisdom. And wisdom is something when you've been working at something for a really long time. In my mind, wisdom is something that you finally embody, right? So it's not something that you know in your head, you know what I mean? Like you've received the education. Like I've worked in art for many, many, many years. And I worked as a glass artist, and you can know a lot about glass and love glass and even work in glass a little bit. But the longer I explored and the longer I worked and the longer I did things, that it gave me more and more learning, and then which turned into a wisdom, something that I really knew inherently. And I think that that's what wisdom is. So this Eastern Cottonwood is in the book under wisdom. And what it's asking you to embody is the awareness of connection. So the cottonwood is this awareness. It's asking you to embody. Really, we know that we're all connected here because there's only one planet, one atmosphere, but it's asking you to really embody that, to recognize that you and all things are divinely connected. So I'll read the message here. It says, there's no division between you and all the other beings in the world, whether you consider them to be living or inert. And it's interesting that we have also what some would consider inert, which is a crystal, to go along with that. So it says, learn to connect with all of things. Learn that. Like the reason why I'm bringing these out is because I started communicating with trees and I was completely blown away of what I was hearing. So either I'm going a little cuckoo, which could be possible, or they're ready to communicate, right? They want us to be aware of things that from their perspective. So learn to connect with them, to appreciate and understand them, and to honor them. So first of all, when you honor yourself, you have to honor yourself. That's part of the wisdom, is knowing that you're amazing. And the aquamarine encourages being true to the self, trust in the universe, and letting go. So if you're holding on and trying to control things, it's because that you're fearing something. So the aquamarine helps to heighten your courage when you are handling grief, and is powerful with assisting self-healing. And it also says that it signifies friendship in some way. And it's interesting that that friendship feels like such a light word, even saying friendship, right? And I think the reason why I'm like feeling that right at the end is that it's asking you to connect into all things. So perhaps befriend a tree or, a local, I don't know, squirrel. I don't know, something like that. Something that you may, it's what it's doing is it's expanding your awareness, expanding your consciousness. And that's what the cottonwood is asking you to do. And that's what wisdom is knowing that we have all these things going around outside, asteroids and things that we are learning about. But until we expand our awareness, that's how we become aware of things. Not by staying in the same place, but by opening and opening and opening. People will not see things if they don't expand their awareness. Have you ever tried to tell somebody, I think I'm going to bring that one. That one is kind of, I don't know why that one is the way it is. So we're going to take that one. And let's see what it says here. Matanga. Wow, she looks pretty fierce. A lot of green energy, which tells me it's related somehow to the heart. She also, it's like this red and green, which tells me, be rooted into the earth and remain with an open heart. She seems pretty fierce, many hands, doing a lot of work. And then there's a parrot here, right? So I don't know if things are being mimicked, like parrots mimic other people. Let's find out. It says she is the tantric queen of outcasts, unveiling the hidden inner power to thrive outside conventional society. If you've been denied love and respect, she brings healing and empowerment. If you have suffered rejection, abandonment, or have been labeled as unworthy in any way, she brings dignity and repair. She clears the way for a creative, joyful, vibrant life path. Well, thank you, Matangi or Matangi. Wow, that's pretty amazing. So, that word outcast feels, kind of heavy, right? It feels kind of dark. But there's a singer called Outkast and everybody loves him. And I think it's because he's embraced that word, outcast. Like he'd rather probably be, obviously he took the name, outcast. He'd rather be that than what some people might say, a follower or a sheep that just goes along blindly and gives someone else the power. So this is asking you to, see the potential in all things. This encourages you to handle grief. So it kind of is telling me that, reading number 2, that you could have possibly been kind of in an area where you had a lot of things to deal with, a lot of grief. So, and a lot of suffering and possibly rejection. But when these things come to us, it's just an awareness of something within us that we don't feel worthy of. And so it's asking you to remember that you are part of everything. So you are not less than anything, and that you have the ability for divine communication always. And that this card and this moment is allowing you to open your path up and see things and embody the wisdom of this divinity of you being part of all things. Okay. So we have a couple of animals coming out. Look at that. The abundant universe will provide. Yeah, so this is a really beautiful, powerful buffalo spirit. And it's card number 10, which is saying like, this is like what 10 is if you see it. 10 is completion and ending. And then it reduces to 1, which is also the beginning. It's like the death and rebirth card, right? The abundant universe will provide. So it's asking you to remember your nature with all things and that you live in an abundant world. Look, now is a lucky time. I love that, right? We have this beautiful, I mean, this is a big, powerful animal and this is a tiny little creature, but you know, horrifyingly, we used to carry around rabbit's feet. I think I had one when I was a kid, and it was supposed to bring luck. And then I realized, and it's like, not for the poor rabbit, right? But there was something about being a rabbit that felt so free, so liberating, so lucky, so joyful that people wanted to keep this animal with them all the time. So now is a lucky time for you, and the universe will provide, and it's encouraging you, even though you've had trauma and tragedy and these things, is that it's time to let go. And that's how you heal, and that's how you move on, and that's how you see that everything that you've experienced in your life has created a more beautiful you. Okay, look at that. Reading number 2, I'm super excited for you because this is a very, very abundant reading. So it's interesting because the slimness of this tree, right, it feels very dainty. It feels like it could be blown away very easily. And when we've had experiences that have been difficult, we feel very fragile, right? We literally are fragile at times. And so it's asking you to recognize, when I was with the tree, I'll just tell you a brief little story that I think is very relevant. When I was talking to the tree said to me is that they are aware of everything, like the ants, they have the perception, this multi-sensory perception that allows them to feel the tiniest vibration from the ants and the natural world, right? And they feel us in the environment. And they see how they're connected with everything, right? They are literally connected underground through a network of mycelium. And so they're aware of other trees and they communicate in their own way. And so they've been in places where they really know. And it's not like they watch with the eyes, but they're aware of what is literally going on in their world. And it saddens them that we are a part of their world, but we don't see them the way they see us. And we have become a little bit of, like an infectious thing because it's the unknowing that creates the illness. It's the unknowing that creates the grief. And so they see us as these magical, powerful, multi-sensory beings that are almost like turned off. Like we are unaware of how amazing we are actually. And so, yeah, so that's this first card asking us to recognize that we are part of everything. Let's see if there's anything else. I'm going to grab some tea leaves. So I think I'm really feeling like I'm going to grab your tea leaves right now. So let's ask for anything else. Okay, so there's 2 cards that came out here. And the first one here is about opportunities. So all of this, the abundant universe will provide. There's a creative, vibrant path leading forward. You're divinely connected, lucky. This is the card of having. This is the card of really feeling that you can have everything that you need. And it's about bringing that into your awareness. And then we have opportunities. This is this big, beautiful door that is telling you, like, just open the door. Something's there for you. Someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. So the casket, it's interesting that I was feeling this kind of death and rebirth here with the 10, right? Because we are, let's get a timeline card for this. Final time, please, for all this awareness. And I think I'm just going to open it up. No, it's telling me to. No, I can't take two. We got to take one. So give me clear time. I think what it's telling me is that there's another card before we draw that. Okay, so is there another card? There really is. Okay, so there is, I'm going to put this one. Wow. Okay, so a couple more cards are falling out here. So it has the nest, which is an emotional, secure, loving family is important to you. Okay, so that's just reminding you that you have support around you, right? So there's an ending of something. Either something is leaving or some situation that, you know, maybe it's just the letting go of all the old grief. Lastly, mountain road, you're on the road to success. So I don't know if you're noticing this, but all of this is leading towards something very, very exciting, and pay attention to your finances. So because this is coming with so much, I think it's going to allow you an opportunity, if you've been struggling, to really release some of the money, like you're going to get an influx of money or something. Okay, so now we're going to go to this, because now I think we're ready to have, that's two. Okay, we're going to draw a card from here. Actually, I'm feeling it's this one, February. Yeah, is where there may be another card. So February, I feel like things are going to loosen up for you in February. And then let's find out about this and who is leaving. That's why I think two cards were trying to come out for you. And I feel it's a top one, July. So in July, you may see that this looks like a really vibrant card. And so I feel like you'll be letting this go and working through whatever. And in July, things will start feeling a little bit rosier. But in the meantime, things will be coming to you. Luck, the universe will provide abundance. You'll be starting to see some of that. And then as you become more aware of your own divine nature and the connectivity and how things have really been working for you, then you're finally going to be able to let go of possibly some real traumas that were part of your past. So thank you, reading number 2. I hope you enjoyed this message. If you're interested in a private reading, follow the information in the description and reach out to me, and we will work together through a Zoom link, and then you can ask any questions that you want. So thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful day. Bye now. Hello, reading number 3. This is for you. So you've chosen the linden tree, a beautiful tree that it kind of shows the all-around gifts of life, right? So this rainbow in the background, you have an openness, awareness. The tree itself is full of new opportunities with leaves and flowers. And it kind of shows the blossoming of something, right, coming in your life. And the card itself is associated with peace. And I don't know if, you know, that's something that you feel very strongly that has been missing, or that you're feeling a peaceful time. But when I set the intention to create this, it was to help give information around a time of change, right? Things are changing. So I think this card is reassuring you that even though things may get a little tumultuous, that peace is on the horizon. Peace is in the future. And I'm just going to read the message from the book. It's like, if you're finding life too hectic and demanding, look for opportunities to be peaceful and quiet in each day, even if you can only snatch a few minutes here or there. Go outside and appreciate the beauty that you find around you. So yeah, that's kind of what I was feeling. It's like, is that to know that peace is available for you. And it's interesting because you got two cards here, and one is jade, which is a symbol of purity and serenity. So I think this is saying the importance very much for you to find some sort of peace in your life. So you could possibly bring jade in to help you do that. It calms the nervous system and channels passion in constructive ways, believed to attract good luck and friendship, and a cleansing stone that aids the body's filtration and elimination. So I think that's very important. It's like I work with bodies and releasing things and traumas, and you know, when we cannot be in peace, and when we find everything just kind of like poking at us, there's probably something that we need to let go of. And then the second card that we have here is Kunzanite, facilitates a connection between one heart and universal love. And when we're in our head a lot and doing and checking off all the boxes of all the stuff that we have to do, we are not generally in our heart, we're in our head. So this allows an intimate connection of communication between the heart and the mind, encouraging openness to accept the quiet urgings of the heart, teach the value of joy, celebration, and receptivity. So I think everything comes out for a reason, and it's interesting that we have two cards here, and we're asking the head and the heart to connect here, for you to find peace within what you're doing and not put so much pressure on you all the time, right? And during this time where things are changing, I have a feeling that you possibly, maybe get in your head a little bit about what's going on. Now, these are a lot of cards. So let's see, is all of these cards for you? No, I'm going to take this one, the one that kind of was on the bottom, and let's see what this one is. And it's interesting, she feels very peaceful, right? This card shows what I feel like is a wealth of state of peace. So let's see what Bhuvaneshwari is. She is the rising sun, marking the ending of darkness and the replenishment of life force after some sort of illness or devastation. She creates a clean state and a fresh start. She protects, preserves all that's worthy in your heart. She shines in a perpetual state of divine beauty and radiance, attracting to us the most supportive and honoring circumstances. Right. So everything here is like talking about peace, the heart, allowing forgiveness if that's what's needed. And you could be forgiving yourself. Just let go of what's been going on. So for reading number 3, I'm giving gratitude for the animals and the messages. Look at that. Card 14, love is all around. Yeah. See, I feel like something in your world has kind of made you feel like maybe you didn't feel loved, or maybe you felt disconnected from your heart in some way. And so because you had that disconnection, you were busy. So the way not to be connected to what's going on is to stay super busy, and then you don't have to think about it. You don't have to feel the pain of, not being enough, or whatever the, stories that were running through your brain were telling you. 4 and 1 together creates 5, which is around change. And that's, to me, just reiterating the awareness of the love. And when we let go of all the busyness and all the stuff that's going on, we can open ourselves to the love. So for reading number 3, please, can we ask for some clarification through tarot? Yeah, this is the devil. The devil is 1 and 5 is 6, and 6 is around really being hyper-focused on the world and tangible things and what you're doing, and that definitely goes along with, overdoing things. Now, sometimes the devil card scares people because they think it's some sort of bad thing. The bad thing about the devil is that what it's showing you is your attachment, like to overthinking, or the need to have all these things. It's just your inner critic is really what the devil is. He's your inner critic that is constantly driving you to be something else, like telling you that you're not enough. That's the devil. It's literally your negativity to yourself and the world around you. So be aware of that. Yeah, it's telling you, it's like, because it's generated by you, you can change it at any time. Because we have this card of new beginning, right? With the Ace of Pentacles. So I'm going to put these cards over here. The Ace of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles. So it's really interesting because this is also a card of change, right? And this is the card of like needing to see the thing that you can't see. And in between this is this new beginning card. And this is like grounded awareness. And I think that the reason why these are two like really sad cards, right? The devil is reminding you that you alone are creating your own grief or your own beliefs of lack or your own fear around something, and that you have what you need, like This is the door that all you have to do is walk through. You have the key. But when your head is down and when you're stuck in a time of darkness or something that has been devastating, whether it's an illness or a belief in something or overdoing or whatever, Jade is bringing in this serenity and purity. This is bringing in peace. This is bringing in a connection. So at this time of change, what's happening is there's a new connection, allowing you to let go of some of these things, these darknesses that you, belief systems that you felt of unworthiness, or that you just weren't disconnected from your heart, because love is all around. And this is a state of contraction, not expansion. Do you see? She's contracted into herself. And this devil, and the reason why it's showing its hand out like this, it's showing you that you have this attachment, that you're attached to something that's unhealthy for you. Okay, so we're going to bring some of these tea leaves. Very excited. So, okay, so that is associated with the devil. Use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Yeah. So, you know, the intuition, the unicorn is around something very magical that, you know, you can stop going to the dark side and feeling so negative and head to the light. And this is reminding me of like childhood, right? These are joyful cards. Childhood and what it means to be hopeful and have fun. And that's what I feel like you need in your life right now. It's a little bit more fun. So, okay. Yeah, look at that. You've got the hammock right next to it, right? It's like, take a break, have some peace. This is what's coming in right now, is that there's going to be something in your life that I think is going to bring a whole new awareness. That's what's coming during this time of great change, is the awareness that you alone are keeping yourself, you know, all clogged up here, right? You're the one that's keeping yourself out of the peace, because it's right here in the middle. This card is right in the center of the whole reading. And this is the key that you haven't seen yet. Okay, so this is about taking vacation physically or mentally. So it's like finding the peace, seeing the rainbow, seeing your childlike enthusiasm coming back again, connecting the head with the heart. So if you don't know what to do or where to go, settle into your body and listen to your heart, not your head, your heart. I feel like you need like an astral card. So let's find out if there's an astral card for you. Let's pull them here. We're going to take that one right there in the middle. Success. So whatever it is that you're feeling like you can never get to, right? You will have success overcoming this situation. And let's get a final card here with a timeline perhaps of what it is that, I feel like it's this one. Yeah, March. Yeah, and so as March approaches, which is interesting because it's one of the things that I was feeling here in this card, is that this is like spring, like it's coming forth with like new flowers and new leaves. And this is the greenery that happens when March and spring and things start opening up and coming into being. And so I feel like by March that the things are going to settle down, and these things that you're, you know, connected to that are keeping you in a lower vibrational frequency, you're going to become aware of them. And then you're going to see where you were somewhat disconnected between the head and the heart. And through this change and this timeline, you're going to see things in a completely new way, and then bring this connection back in, allowing you to take a break from, you know, the grief. Take a break from the hardship that you have been feeling in your life, and allowing you to really rest and see that you are more than you believe yourself to be. This is the success card. And if you've been trying to, you know, if you're taking classes and you feel like you're not getting where you need to be, or you've been doing all this work and you still feel like you're like stuck in this loop of, you know, something you're attached to, like the victimization or the need to be something other than you are, or the need to impress people, whatever it is. That's what like this devil energy is like your own perception of lack and your own perception of this need for something. It's going to let go. This is about a new embodied bringing down into the world change. And I think the reason why it's in the middle of these two cards is because it's telling you, it's separating, it brings a new awareness to both what you've been attached to and both the victimization and the not being able to see all the beautiful things that have been around you in your life. So thank you, reading and pile number 3, for being here. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think of this reading. And please join us for our daily messages. If you're new to the channel and this is the first time that you've seen us, hit that subscribe button. And if you're interested in a private reading, you can find contact information in the information about the channel. So until then, I hope you really have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.